And down in his van episode 9, I'm going to talk about tempo and why it's really important, why picking the right tempo is vital for your song or whether it's a cover. Now, I did a gig the other night with a drummer I hadn't seen for a while, and his groove, he was just sitting on everything really down tempo. Mustang Sally, that Wilson Pickett original sort of tempo. I'll come back to that in a minute. He was playing it really down tempo and it just grooves. And in the break, I just went to the bar and said, we're playing these at real nice down tempos. It's great. I love it. And he says, it's not that. I'm just really tired because all 3 of my children took it in turns to throw up on me last night. So I was obviously dealing with some stomach bug in the house, but it made him play much slower. I mean, he's a good drummer anyway, but everything just sat really nicely. Now, going back to the Mustang Sally thing, 1991, the Commitments movie came out, documented the life of a soul band in Dublin, the most sort of unlikely place for a soul band. And it was a great film, really, really fun. It was just a really good film, and it woke up soul music for an entire generation of people who rediscovered, or actually discovered for the first time, people like Wilson Pickett and Sam and Dave and all of those. The whole sort of Atlantic soul thing was just discovered by a new generation. But for me, the album, everything just went far too fast. Now, I don't think it's because I'm getting older. I think the average tempo of a tune has actually increased a little bit over the years. Now, there's some statistics if you're interested. But things like minor, major tonality have also shifted over the decades. We have more minor pop songs now than in the 1960s when it was pretty much the opposite way round. But for me, the tempo of Mustang Sally on the Commitments album, Mustang Sally, it's just, for me, it's far too fast. If you listen to the original and you just go, oh yeah, that sounds so much better. Lots of bands that I know, including bands I play in, pretty much won't play that tune because it's asked for all the time, and it's always, oh, can you play Mustang Sally? And we say, oh no, really. But the last time we were asked, I went, guys, let's play it like the original. And actually, it stayed on our set list and we play it all the time now at that tempo with a real groove. Now, when you slow down a tune like this, it just gives it more space. You're telling the story, Mustang, roll that Mustang down. It's amazing how I can't remember words when I haven't got the chords of the guitar. Mustang selling a baby, selling a baby. You can hear all the consonants, you can hear all the words. They're delivered with freedom. And that's the problem when you trying to blast your way through something. There's a famous live recording, actually, of Aretha Franklin singing Respect. And it goes at literally 1,000,000 miles an hour. You've got the original tempo, sort of, what you want, baby, you got it, what you need. It's just, it just, you can't help but do that. But this particular live version, it goes, what you want, baby, you got it. What you need? It's almost double the speed, and it sounds like a couple of cats having a fight in a dustbin. It's just really, really fast, and I kind of don't really understand it. Now, that said, it is natural if you're playing, if you're recording, or if you're doing a live gig anywhere where there is no backing track or no click track. Recordings always end up being a little bit faster at the end than they were at the beginning. And that's just the energy, the sort of, just getting into what you're doing. If you listen to Chameleon by Herbie Hancock, for example, at the beginning, dum 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 bum 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 dum 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 bum it's kind of that. But by the time it gets to the end of the first section, at 7 minutes in or whatever it is, it's speeding up a bit. I don't mind that though, because you can hear that it's just, they're lost in their music. And that's a different ballgame when you speed up slightly. And to that end, it is arguable that tunes that are recorded to a click track may seem a little bit lifeless compared, but there is an upside to all of this. Not only can you work in bars and beats with your recording, and it's dead easy to find where you are if you're putting string parts or vocal parts down, it also means if the tempo is kept steady, that the thing will just breathe and you can properly produce your record. It's not just, you're not just playing, because it's the tension of a tune speeding up a bit can sort of negate other areas, like putting in your space, putting in sort of percussion, just making everything sit. And for me, I've been recording now with a click track for quite a few years, but when I was doing the band that I used to play in, where we released some albums, it's the Baker Brothers, by the way. Have a look online and you'll find our old 12-inch and 7-inch records on eBay and places like that. Good trip down memory lane sometimes. But we recorded all of those with no click. So it was just, we work out the idea and we stick it. We put it down. And yes, the tempo did increase slightly in all of those, but it's by a natural amount. But as I said, keep things really, really restrained. Even if it's a fast tempo, you can spend, half an hour with a song idea before even arriving at a vague tempo. You can be playing it, try playing it a bit slower, a bit faster in a different key. So you're experimenting with not only the key of the song, which is of course important for the vocals, the lead vocals, but also the tempo. It's got to sit right. All the lyrics have to be delivered. The story, the narrative, that sense of line, the sense of purpose has to be there without being overly quick. So there we are. There is my 2 bob on it. I would say don't worry about the clinical side of the fact that you've settled on a tempo of 117.4. It doesn't really matter. What matters is that the music breathes.